The nation was still buzzing when the breaking news alert lit up every screen. Senator John Kennedy files $80 million lawsuit against Congressman Adam Schiff. It wasn't a rumor. It wasn't political gossip. This was real-land. It was about to explode in the public eye. But what no one expected was how Adam Schiff would respond live on national television, leaving even the harshest critics silent. The story began months earlier, quietly at first. Senator Kennedy, known for his unapologetic wit and straight-shooting style, had been the target of what he considered a calculated smear campaign. Schiff, a seasoned political player, had made statements in multiple interviews implying that Kennedy was complicit in political misconduct. No evidence, no hearing. Just words, but words with the power to ruin reputations and erase decades of trust built with the people of Louisiana. For weeks, Kenny said nothing publicly. His friends noticed the changeless laughter, fewer of his famous, folksy quips. His wife, Becky, saw the toll it was taking. She knew her husband as a man who could weather insults, but this was different. It wasn't just about politics. It was about honor, his name, and the legacy he would leave behind. One night at their kitchen table, Kennedy stared into his coffee cup and quietly said, "Becky, if I don't stand up now, I'll be telling every American that lies are stronger than the truth." That was the turning point. Within days, his legal team drafted one of the most aggressive defamation suits in congressional history, an $80 million claim. The announcement sent Washington into a frenzy. The media camped outside Kennedy's home. Pundits screamed on cable news, and social media lit up with hashtags. Some called it bravery. Others called it political suicide. For Adam Schiff, the moment was equally defining. His aides urged him to issue a statement, deny everything, and fight it quietly in court. But Schiff had other plans. He requested a primetime slot on one of the nation's biggest news networks, knowing that millions would be watching. The stage was set for confrontation. The night of the broadcast, cameras panned across a tense newsroom. Schiff sat across from the anchor, his expression calm but eyes unreadable. After the host summarized the lawsuit, she asked, "Congressman Schiff, Senator Kennedy is suing you for $80 million, claiming you defamed him. How do you respond?" The pause that followed seemed to stretch for hours. Schiff finally leaned forward, hands clasped, and said, "This is not about me. It's about the state of our democracy. If a senator believes I lied, I will meet him in court. But I will also meet him in the court of public opinion with the truth." Then, in a move no one saw coming, Schiff held up a folder. Inside, here are documents, transcripts, and communications that I will release not to hurt Senator Kennedy, but to let the American people decide for themselves. It was a stunning gamble. Rather than hide behind lawyers, Schiff was throwing the fight into the open arena. Reporters scrambled to get their hands on the files, and within hours, the documents were online. But here's where the tide shifted. The records weren't the smoking gun Schiff had hinted at. In fact, several of the key claims appeared to be hearsay or taken out of context. And one particularly damaging quote attributed to Kennedy was proven within hours to have been fabricated by an unreliable third party. Public opinion began to sway. Kennedy, calm and measured, went on his own interview circuit not with outrage, but with a simple message. Politics should be a contest of ideas, not character assassinations. I don't want Adam Schiff ruined. I want the truth respected. Again, his tone was not vengeful, but almost fatherly, and that humility caught people off guard. As the lawsuit made its way into court, the pressure on Schiff mounted. Legal analysts began openly questioning his judgment, and some of his closest allies urged him to settle. But Kennedy refused a private deal. "This isn't about money," he told the judge during a pretrial conference. "I'm not here to Get richer. I'm here to prove that honor still matters. Months later, the case concluded with a negotiated resolution. Schiff issued a public statement acknowledging that some of his earlier comments about Kennedy lacked the necessary factual basis, and that he regretted the impact those words had on Senator Kennedy's reputation. Kennedy, in turn, dropped the monetary demand, redirecting the $80 million he'd sought into a newly formed national nonprofit, dedicated to defending free speech and combating false political narratives. The press conference announcing the nonprofit was one of the most emotional moments in Kennedy's career. "We can't stop people from speaking," he said, "but we can insist that what they say is honest. Truth is the only currency that holds its value in a democracy." Schiff, surprisingly, sent a personal donation to the fund quietly, without fanfare. The moment reshaped the public image of both men. Kennedy was seen as a fighter who valued principles over profit. Schiff, though bruised politically, earned a measure of respect for facing the storm head-on. And the American people, at least for a moment, were reminded that courage sometimes comes not from crushing an opponent, but from demanding a better way forward. In the end, the lawsuit was never about $80 million. It was about something far more valuable: the belief that in a time when truth is fragile, there are still those willing to protect it, no matter the cost.